Alright, hello and welcome to the AOE Leagues Group A final cast. It's a best of 5 between Anything for Mickey and the Lonely Petards. It's a best of 5, map draft and civ draft. I didn't look into the maps, but I just added the draft link as a command, so !draft for the drafting that the teams have done for this set. So starting off with our behavior like most tournaments do for the first game, let's have a look at their civilizations of choice. We have Big Cook with Magyars. Pardon in advance for any mispronunciations here, but that's Big Cook with the Magyars. And Mickey Sniff with the Britons. So, okay, faster working ranges could benefit the Magyars if you'd go into cavalry archers at some point, but this is likely, of course, going to be the scouts, archers, knight, crossbow, arbalest, paladin kind of play here, with Britons obviously at an advantage here with faster working archery ranges. 20% faster working, that is. And Magyars certainly benefiting from that if they at any point want to go for the cavalry archers as well. So I'm expecting scouts here from the Magyars. Britons maybe to rush or men-at-arms, some style of opening. Even straight archers works fine, of course, in a team game. You could do 21 pop comfortably with the Britons. Alright, as for the other team here, we have heuristic magic in the purple here as the Mayans. Another solid flanked civilization in team game, or in the case of 2v2, playing the archer's role. Mayans, they don't have faster working ranges like the Britons, but they have cheaper archers. 10% cheaper in the feudal age, 20% castle age, 30% in imperial age. And there, as the teammate, we have Philosopher King here with the Burgundians. A bit of an odd one off here as a cavalry civilization on an open map like Arabia. It's not the most commonly seen. It's an amazing arena civilization with their early economic upgrades. You see that Philosopher King has double bit axe already. But then again, if you play it properly with the timings, the Cast Age Cavalier and potentially the Imperial Age Power Spike with the half-price Paladin for the Burgundians is easier to get to, but in exchange they don't get bloodlines, so that's one to keep in mind here. Mayans obviously don't get any bloodlines either, they don't have any cavalry option at all. So, idle times, a bit of idle TC time for Philosopher here actually. Could be that early double bit axe is throwing the food economy off a little bit here. We'll look a bit into the scoutings as the game moves on as well, but looks like the players are boosting their early economies with pushing in the deer, not really stressing scouting for the enemy just yet. While Big Cook already begins with a wall off here, somewhat close to home base, walling the side that points towards heuristic magic here. Magyars, Mayans will have cavalry versus archers on either side here, so this might develop into a 1v1 to begin with here in the feudal age, and then they'll coordinate later. Mickey Sniff with the early walls here with Britons as well, wants to play it safe here. That should be an indication, unless any resources have been taken here, that we won't be seeing any barracks opening, but rather the straight archers here for the Britons. It's a decently wallable map, very open the left side section here, but the side pointing towards Philosopher King. More easily walled, looks like the more... Wait, what? Well, why would you build the barracks pointing towards your ally, though? Not that it matters that much. You're gonna make archers mainly, not infantry units, but that's a bit... Yeah, that's more of a necessity rather than the opening area. Could still be an infantry opening, of course, but that barracks is late in that case, completing just as Loom completes. Could be 22 pop men-at-arms here, could be straight archers. And it's not men-at-arms because it's not on gold, so it's definitely the straight archers from the Britain side. As for the other side, we have Feudal Age on the way for Big Cook and Philosopher King, the cavalry players here, so they'll be going for the scouts, 20 pop and 21 pop respectively here. But Burgundians with the earlier eco upgrades might benefit a lot from that early up here. Heuristic Magic with the Drush here, finding Big Cook side, and will obstruct the Magyar's food source here, which is great value already. One villager down for Heuristic Magic. Loom or not, that one goes down. And again, the barracks goes up in the back, so I don't understand this. If you need to defend with spears or something, why would you want the barracks all the way in the back rather than in the front or to the sides, so they're more easily reaching the attacking units? Big Cook might even delay this barracks unless the quick walls are on point. They kind of are, but now Big Cook needs to delete this one in order to range the barracks. Yeah, delays the barracks significantly here. Feudal Age is in for Big Cook, but the timing is off here. Magyar's player will not even be having the barracks complete by reaching the Feudal Age, and hence won't be able to drop a stable and go for the scouts. There's enough wood to drop the stables now though, so just, there we go, quite close to TC so that it doesn't get obstructed by the Drush here. Quick walls on the woodline to limit the aggression here from Heuristic Magic. Philosopher King dropping the stable right now as well, with the one more villager up than the counterpart here. And more quick walls will be needed from Big Cook to keep this out, but that's expertly followed up here, keeping the aggression out from. But the damage has been done still by Philosopher King here. Didn't get one but two, by Heuristic Magic, didn't get one but two villagers here. Tries for the block again, but this is too close to town center. I think he should be fine here. Scouts for the Burgundians, yeah, lots of scouts. 5 scouts in the queue here. Bausoin in the Feudal Age, amazing economy for Burgundians once you get it going. In the meantime, Heuristic Magic with the Drush has bought time to wall off here. Is going for the Drush Fast Castle Crossbows approach here. 3 on gold, no mining camp just yet, but the walls will be more or less complete by the time Big Cook can get around with the scouts here. So Big Cook's scouts will be designated to defend against Philosophers forwards here, because the only player not... Yeah, red is walling up here. There's still some chance for Big Cook to deal damage here, but maybe they'll focus on Philosopher King's forwards here, tracking the armies. Or maybe Mickey Sniff is just fine behind the walls here. Blacksmith going up now 2 ranges, consistently producing archers. And anything for Mickey, they are quite ahead in military numbers here, with the Mayans player quite late to the archers production after the Drush, but will be very likely be reaching the Castle Age sooner than most of the others here with this kind of approach. Here come the scouts. 1 red scout here to almost track them, but scouting not really on point here for Philosopher King, but he knows that Big Cook is over here. That should be the target as well. Big Cook still not fully walled, and also the player with more mobility of the players here. Good farming economy though, all things considered. Did lose 2 villagers for anything from Mickey. They are behind 2 villagers exactly, as the idle town center times are comparable between the teams here. The Drush may have cost some idle TC time for Heuristic Magic as well, because yeah, 1 minute 2 seconds, pretty much the same as Big Cook here. So in terms of idle time, if not for the killed villagers, Big Cook will actually be getting out of this quite nicely, but does fall behind in scouts numbers here. Will have the better scouts with Magyar's instant forging there, but yeah, no reason to risk any damage. Actually, now they should be hitting the Burgundians, because Heuristic Magic is going FC, Fast Castle. Does have some archers. Okay, they didn't go Fast Castle. I was expecting Fast Castle crossbows here, but it's actually producing out of 2 ranges from Feudal, so Drush flush here in that case. 8 scouts to 7 scouts, but the green scouts aren't collected. 6 scouts to 7 scouts here now. Good engagement for anything from Mickey there. They're assuming the hill, and they're getting some Nice army kills here. Yes, the scouts of Big Cook goes down, but so do you, Philosopher King's armies here. No scouts left on the field, only archers now, and a significant lead for the Britons, unsurprisingly so, with the straight archers approach and the 20% faster working ranges. Let's see here. Walls intact for heuristic magic for now. It makes sense for Mickey Sniff to push here. You'll note that this is a bit dangerous because Philosopher King is on the way up to the Castle Age, but in the meantime now there's no military whatsoever for Philosopher King here, allowing Mickey Sniff to engage comfortably without needing to run into enemy knights here. Forcing a defensive tower that is gonna go up, but not without the cost of villagers here. 4 villagers down for the Mayans, and you could still, in theory, sit underneath this tower here. Would mean the end of Mickey Sniff's feudal age armies here, but look at the eco kid here. 7 villagers killed by Mickey Sniff. Yes, losing the archers, but that's easily replenished for the Britons now, and still slight, well, yeah, archers numbers matching up here, but then again, quicker production for the Britons. The only way for Mayans to match this is to drop another range and benefit from the cheaper archers production instead. Re-walling here, taking the hill, waiting for red to reach Castle Age here for a potential comeback, but the current eco situation is 77 to 67. 10 villagers lead for anything for Mickey. Everybody has wheelbarrows, so that's not significant here, and all the eco upgrades for the Burgundians, so the economy to pump out knights or Castle Age Cavalier is certainly here for Philosopher King, but it's gonna... yeah, we'll see how it'll fare against the Magyars here now with 120 seconds to go. Magyars do get the melee attack upgrades instantly, so that helps out in the efforts, even if you're outmatched slightly in numbers. Philosopher King with the second town center here to further extend on the economy lead over the opposing cavalry player, and going straight for Cavalier and chain barding armor, which you kind of have to stress with the Burgundians as well to be able to match up against the Bloodlines Cavaliers, knights of the other player. Mayans beating Britons to the Castle Age here, but Britons should be beating the numbers here. 3 ranges producing for Mickey Sniff, 3rd range going up just now for heuristic magic. So with all 3 ranges producing for Mickey Sniff here, is still going to have a very sizable amount of crossbows in the Castle Age as compared to the Mayans here. There's still the option of Eagle Warriors for the Mayans though, but that's kind of awkward to go for with Magyar's Knights in the mix, especially with their attack upgrades going in instantly. That should be very decent against Eagles until the masses and upgrades are critical. Fully upgrades for the Eagles. Third DC for the Burgundians player now, as Big Cook commits to only 1 here, but both stables presumably producing here. Not really. I'm not loving the army production of the green here now. Falling behind, they're both at 2 stables, but the Burgundians player with Cavalier and almost full upgrades here will have the same hit points of the knights, but slightly higher attack, right? 12 plus 2 as opposed to 10 plus 2, isn't it? 10 plus 2, yeah. Cavaliers and crossbow now going to aim for the Magyars player here. Good call. And yeah, overall military numbers very comparable here. Economy is comparable as well now that we have 3 town centers for the Burgundians, but with the second town center going up for Big Cook, that should be evening out again here. 3 stables for the Magyars to compensate for being a little bit behind to the Castle Age here and to match up the numbers. Playing it defensively here, nice house walls to keep the aggression out of the gold here. Tough to range with crossbows from outside as well, but you see the army coordination here of Philosopher King and Heuristic Magic. They're staying very closely together, and they're staying close to the hill as well to use the hill bonus to their advantage. No ballistics yet for the purple crossbows, so it's a bit harder to hit moving targets, and the red realizes it's not a worthwhile engagement in absolutely similar numbers here. Another wave of crossbows here for Heuristic Magic, while Mickey Sniff and Big Cook now take the hill again, since the enemy army presence has moved away. So a little look at their scouting as well. Not loving the scouting the Mayans here. No market is going up just now. No, that's a university, so never mind. No market yet, so they don't have shared vision. That could be a little bit of a setback for the Lonely Petards here. But now they're finding another hill here to idle one of the golds of Mickey Sniff here and more Cavaliers joining in as well. Look at that economy though. 73, 74 villagers to 46 for Philosopher King. Really establishing a solid economic lead over the other cavalry player here. One issue that's going to be for the Lonely Petards so is that the Britons, they have extra range with their crossbows, plus 1 range granted when reaching the Castle Age. Always awkward to play against, but combining Cavalier and crossbows like this, it's more awkward for the Britons to use that range because there's always going to be melee units in front to engage. Nice choke point there for the Britons, using the range to their advantage. Ballistics is in as well. Britons don't get thumbering for accuracy against still standing targets and faster firing rate, so they want to get to ballistics ASAP to kind of compensate a little bit for that. Ballistics now on the way for the Mayans as well, so no significant advantage for the Archer civilizations other than the Britons with the extra range, of course. Still one town center for the Mayans, but that also means the potential of more military here. 3 ranges producing, so currently outproducing the Britons, but could also be that Mickey Sniff is idling production here for a reason, to prepare for the Imperial Age and Arbalest and all that more. The extra range that implies for the Britons, they'll have 5+4 crossbows instantly then with Bracer and Arbalest you'll have 5+5. With the potential for E-Omen as the unique technology from the castle to give you another +1 range as well. That's actually a Castle Age technology, but seldom seen in the Castle Age. Philosopher King bails on that very forward castle here on the gold and places one sort of more in the middle here instead to protect his own gold and production capabilities here. Mayans with 53 crossbows, Britons with 55. And the Magyar's Knights in the back here, matching the numbers of the Cavalier of Philosopher King. But look at the resources here. Now only miss... Wait, that's food and gold. I was looking at the wood count, so never mind. I'm not going to see an Imperial Age quite yet for Philosopher King here. Lots of Cavalier going down now, and Britain's left with... quite a few of the crossbow numbers here. I think this is a decent fight for anything for Mickey here. On the other hand, their economy is slightly behind the Lonely Petards, so the Lonely Petards in a better position to to lose units here, so to speak, because they have more economy to replenish them. Mayans going Imperial Age here now. Philosopher King committing to replenishing the numbers and extending on the farm economy. I think I saw 5 stables producing here for Philosopher King. It's a close match though, just 300 points apart in terms of score here now. As a weird town center goes up for Big Cook here, far away from the gold, and I guess he didn't want to block the gate. That's what is this one? It's a town center to protect the the economy or what? That was kind of fascinating. Alright, let's have a look here at green and blue taking the hill again here. While Philosopher King and Heuristic Magic can't quite engage here. They are still matching in military. Military count very similar here, 90 to 91. Slight eco lead for the Lonely Petards, but more importantly, they're both going Imperial Age, while Mickey Sniff is also up with the Britons here, which is going to be significant with the extra range and whatnot for the Britons. So evenly matched, these guys, in terms of military production and numbers here, and timings as well. We do have the Burgundians here though, and they have cheaper paladins, so once the Imperial Age sets in, which is going to beat Magyars quite significantly to it, Philosopher King will very likely be able to afford paladins straight away. And that's going to be a pickle, especially for the, maybe especially for the knights. We might have to rely on the Britons' Arless numbers here to save the day. $83 Arbalest to 86, but you'll note that the Mayans player with the cheaper, 30% cheaper archers now is producing out of no less than 7 ranges. 6 stables producing for Philosopher King. Let's see if the Paladin upgrade, yes, here it comes instantly. And we don't even have the Imperial Age clicked for Big Cook, so this is going to be a pickle. We'll be fighting, even if the Burgundians don't have Bloodlines, it is going to be Paladin with plate barding armor, and there's not much Magyars can do to contest that. See some players in the north from purple. Maybe he wants to consider sending some Arbalest over to hit Big Cook as well. Britain's Arbalest going to be a major pain in the economy of Philosopher King though. Using the range here, of course, 5+5 range, and also sitting on the hill to hold off. Ooh, fighting before Paladin. I'm not sure if I like that for Philosopher King here, unless it's about trapping the Britons Arbalest here. But this is honestly a great fight for anything for Mickey here. Britons on the hill with that extra range, easily able to range the cavalry and Arbalests here, and just like that, Philosopher King loses all of the army momentum here before Paladin, way before Paladin. As not sure if that was a necessary fight to take for the Lonely Petards. Maybe they thought they had a better opportunity to win this one, but just like that, things are in and out. Magyars on the way to the Imperial Age as well, left with only 9 knights. But in exchange, much better Arbalest numbers now, and Britons and Mayans with roughly similar production numbers here. No, one more range for the Mayans, but nothing too significant. Economies are evening out as well, 187 to 170. Paladin is in, yes, but not nearly in the numbers that they could have been if not for the fight down here. Now, Mickey Sniff with the forward castle here on Philosopher King's gold. Is still so tight in terms of score here. But this hill, nasty for the Lonely Petards to engage against Britons here. The power of the Britons and their extra range here. I'd say good engagement there for Philosopher King though, and focusing on the castle builders. The castle stays unbuilt for now. Let's see if Mickey Sniff gets this one up. There's the Imperial Age for the Magyars as well. 22 immediate Cavalier queuing here. Plate barding following right after, and the castle doesn't go up. Now it's Mayans back with the numbers leader. 61 Arbalest for the Mayans, only 11 left for the Britons, and Imperial Age, yes, in for Big Cook here, but there's still a while to go for the It's still a while to go for green to get to the proper upgrades here. What's the name of green? Oh my G, yes. Or oh my D, if you will, if you want to think in those terms. But it says cook, doesn't say anything else. So careful what you wish for. Yololo. Cavalier coming in here, and remember they do have bloodlines. Let's just compare one unit to another here for Burgundians and Magyars if we're able. I want to see the hit points and whatnot here. See, Paladins slightly higher hit points for Burgundians, and I guess slightly higher belly armor as well, but Paladin now on the way for the Magyars as well, and outnumbering the Burgundians here now. 162 to 198 villagers, but this is also good damage for the Lonely Petards here in Mickey Sniff's base. They're crippling the Arbalest player here now. However, they need to pressure the cavalry player as well. And Big Cook is kind of free booming over there. The unfinished castle of Mickey Sniff will stay unfinished now once this castle goes up for Philosopher King, who has reclaimed control over the gold at home. Yeah, not looking pretty for the Britons here. Down to 46 villagers, 24 military. And soon only left with the few Arbalists that are here. We may be closing in on the GG moment here, because Big Cook doesn't really have the army potential here to carry this home. Raiding the green player now. Good Hussar raids here from Philosopher King. The Burgundians Hussars, they have full upgrade save for the last attack upgrade here. Spreading it out in a way to maximize the damage here and causing a headache for Big Cook, who currently only has Cavalier of his own and will need to... Well, Paladin is in, but still will need to task the Paladins at home to clean up the raids here. Yeah, Hussars everywhere, really exploiting the fact that the map is so open here. Anything for Mickey, 160 economy units now to the 211 of the Lonely Petards. The military situation is still comparable here, but the Lonely Petards certainly have the momentum now through the raids and the fact that they're killing so many villagers. So there's 46 villagers killed by Philosopher King here. Such a pain to deal with raids like this, and now you'll see the stone walls going up here for heuristic magic as well to the north. They're thinking long term now. They already have a bit of trade running, and if they can get the walls up, they'll have a safe trade route in the backs of their bases, securing consistent gold access throughout the game, while anything from Mickey are hardly in a position to do the same thing here. Hussar raids everywhere, 49 builders. Mickey Sniff desperately trying the reboom here, but finds himself constantly annoyed by the pressure here. Here with the Mayans player now with pikemen as well, might even get to halberdier at some point here once the economy allows. And queuing trebuchets from the castle to start pressuring Big Cook big time here. The GG well played is called. First game goes to the Lonely Petards. And we'll be moving on to anything for Mickey's home map. Once we have a look at the stats, of course. I'm not sure what Mickey Sniff is up to here, if he just wants to be rid of the archers, but there's not much more to be seen here. 229 Arbalest, no less. Made for Mickey Sniff here, Philosopher King with a whooping 126 Paladins. Let's have a look at the stats and let's pull up the next one. Could split these graphs into separate graphs. We had some interesting movement in the archers Arbalest numbers here. Some big dips for either player here. Could show the eco upgrades as well. Looks like Mayans was really late to the Feudal Age eco upgrades here. That's a military score showing 306 to 242 KD for the Britain's player, which is very solid. Mayans as well, the archers playing really doing work here. Burgundy's economy, very solid as well, out ecoing the Magyars big time here, and a bit surprising to see Burgundians coming out on top in an Arabia game like this. Finally, a look at the APM before we pull in the start the next game. We'll have a quick look at the draft here as well. We'll make sure to... who won again? Lonely Petards. Won with Burgundians and Mayans. While the opposing team had Magyars and Britons. Tryharding not working out for Arabia. Let's see for game 2. Home map of the losing team. And that's going to be on Nomad! Nice. One of my favorite maps. Tends to get chaotic. And here we go. This one is going to be fast forwarded a little bit. I think we need to switch the colors here again. Big Cook, Mickey Sniff. Let's make Mickey green. Let's make Philosopher. We could do red and purple. Yeah, this is better. Alright, so for Nomad here, we have Mickey Sniff with the Lithuanians. And why does he pick Lithuanians for Nomad? The thing is, Lithuanians start with 150 extra food. So you can focus right away on the wood. For some reason, yeah, 2 villagers to build this TC. You could go right to wood with everything you got with Lithuanians and hence get to the dock production earlier. See the shorefishing builder placing a house here, going to go to shorefish, and once there is enough wood, it's going to start pumping out those fishing ships down here. That's why Lithuanians are good for hybrid maps as well. They can use the fact that they start with extra food to go straight to wood to make fishing ships and a dock, rather than focusing on the standard 6 on sheep for standard openings, or in the Nomad case, eating sheep or boar or hunt or whatever you need to boost your early food. Big Cook with the Burmese might be having Arambai in mind here. He finds a stone close to his starting base, but Burmese, they have elite battle elephants, they have decent cavalry, knights, cavalier. Strong infantry as well, +1 attack per age starting in the feudal age for all the Burmese infantry. So men-at-arms towers comes to mind on other maps than Nomad maybe, but not necessarily this one. In the middle here we have heuristic magic with the Italians. Italians have cheaper fishing ships and other bonuses applying to water, so it could be that heuristic magic will be taking some responsibility for the naval fighting here. While Philosopher King has gone with one of the strongest nomad civs all. He's gone with the Malians here. Malians save wood for each and every building they place down, so Malians could easily get straight to the fishing ships from the very get-go. You place a house, a dock, and your TC, and still you will be able to afford an instant fishing ship due to your wood savings. Quite close to Big Cook here, so they're going to be fighting over the fish here. Not great dock placement for either player here. There's only 2D fish close to the dock, and then you need to move further and further away. The corners are generally better for fishing on water maps. Now, since it's Nomad, it's going to be kind of slow to the start here, so let's slow it down a little bit. We actually see almost a 5 eco units lead for Philosopher King over his teammate here. Same with Lithuanians, doubling up on the fishing ships here. Very smooth Nomad start for Lithuanians. 17 to 12 here. Big Cook is really falling behind here in the early economy. Has had some idle TC time, lacking food, may even have gone into loom here for longer lures. But all things considered, both teams quite similar in eco. We'll have Malians superiorly sooner to the feudal age here. Let's slow it down a bit, because now we have the feudal age kicking in for the Lonely Petards, who will presumably starting to contest water here. Let's see. 2 docks for the Malians, fire galleys in 3 docks in fact. Fire galleys in production, and they'll be aiming straight for blue hopefully here. Yeah, they definitely know that blue is on it over here. What they don't have scouted though is the fact that Mickey Sniff is right down here, and that's one thing I'm missing on Nomad maps from many players, that they don't commit to scouting the shorelines with at least one fishing ship or something to know something about the extent of investing into naval fighting. Looking at all the fish here for Lithuanians, this is the place Philosopher Kings should be hitting, and ASAP at that. So much fish it is. Mickey Sniff is basing everything off naval eco here, except for a little bit of villagers. He's 44 villagers and still in the fuel age here. Fighting a bit for water, of course, but probably setting up for a fast castle age here, or fast-ish. He has the resources for it, only missing the buildings to go up. Needs a mill, because you can't build a blacksmith without a mill, I think, or market. I don't remember. So that could be the reason for that one. Yeah, all the time in the world for Mickey Sniff to get to the castle age here. Only missing the buildings, sadly. Missing both buildings. While Heuristic Magic is with 30 villagers. I'm going castle age here with the Italians. So we have demos in the queue here for Big Cook. There's more fish to the north as well, which hopefully Philosopher King will be noticing, but again, really needs to find this ridiculously large fish investment on Mickey Sniff. Mickey Sniff with 3 fire galleys against 8 of the Malians. That's an easy win for the Malians water here. Red just needs to get his ass down here ASAP. Otherwise, it's so much free food for the Lithuanians to benefit from through the next stage. Still no sign of a castle age for the Lithuanians though, so that's something. Demolition ship hit here, but looks like Red got out of it decently, and now Red finds the location of Green, but with too few fire galleys here to engage, and that evens out the numbers here. Green might actually be able to contest and win water here after all. Demolition ship in front, fire galleys to follow. Heuristic Magic has found blue as well, flares the location. Not quite sure what blue is up to here. Note going for the castle age, not committing too much on water. Wait, there is the castle age, never mind. Going fast-ish castle for the Burmese as well. Mickey Sniff will be aiming for the fishing ships here, and knows that Philosopher King has a significant army on water, so it's not necessarily a certainty that Mickey Sniff can win water here. Did get a few fishing ship kills, but will be losing the numbers here. Will need to transition to land aggression here. 89 eco units to 67 though. Mickey Sniff has been getting away with the greediest naval boom ever down south here with Lithuanians. But that's about to be punished by Philosopher King, so this could turn things around quickly here. Oh, and the good old Nomad castle drop here. Heuristic Magic with the Italians. A little bit of villager fighting here, but that is in Blue's hands to win, no problem. And up it goes. Looks like Big Cook will be able to counter castle once the castle age kicks in, but that's going to be too late, I think. This is right in the face of Big Cook here, who will need to relocate once castle age is in here. So what's the stone situation for Big Cook here? Yeah, enough stone for a castle. And castle right on the stone at home here, in fact. Within range of the Italian's castle even. I'm not sure what that's gonna accomplish for Big Cook here, unless he plans to petard down the Italian's castle here. What's the naval situation? Again, Green is holding here. Why is Red so hesitant to engage here? Red did get 2 eco kills total. I think that was on blue stock here. So we still have this ridiculous fish boom going for blue down, green down here, which Red doesn't seem to want to be contesting it. Second town center going up for both green and blue here. Blue on the gold, green on the stone. Maybe we'll get to see Lightis in play here on Nomad. We have 3 TCs for Philosopher King with the Malians as well. Cheaper town centers for the Malians as well. They cost less wood after all. There is low. Keep scouting the shoreline. Find these fish. Fire galleys increasing again for Mickey Sniff here. We are in the cast. Everybody's in the cast stage, so whoever gets to War Galley first has an edge here. Let's see. They're about to become fire ships, so they have 120 hit points now. The attack should remain the same. I think. Oh, hold on. 2 more attack for the fire ships as well. So if this game doesn't go into the Lonely Petard's hands, I think much of it can come down to the fact that Mickey Sniff got away with almost 20 fishing ships booming in an extended fuel age here on water. The Iron Buy are out, but they should really not fare well against the Genoese crossbowmen here. These dudes, they counter cavalry, and they have the longer range than the Iron Buy as well. Easy call of heuristic magic to go for the Genoese here, of course. But fighting in the north here, I kind of a 1v1 that frees up the economy and boom of green and red over here as well, who will probably be fighting kind of a 1v1 down here. Malians going for mainly knights now, but a few camels mixed in. Yeah, not accomplishing too much here right now. What's the eco situation? It's anything from Mickey. They are ahead. It's 108 to 95 villagers. Slight eco lead there. But what's the eco setup like here? Yeah, they're all spending resources consistently here. Producing armies, applying pressure. Blue with another town center going up here, and a defensive mangonel to try and diminish the Genoese crossbowmen here, but good split by heuristic magic here, gets away with weakening them mainly. Oh, split micro again here, 2 scorpions and a mangonel, though you don't out micro out with archers. Not just like that, but here comes the cavalry of Philosopher King to help out here. Yeah, the Genoese go down, most of them, and here come the camels and knights to deal with the siege weapons. Alright, so Arabiat is for Big Cook a questionable choice against heuristic magic's Italians and Genoese crossbows here. As a second castle going up for the Italians as well, so this could be very hurtful for the Burmese investment here. Actually, Burmese, what do they have against Italians, Genoese crossbows? They don't really have much. They're archery ranged units. They suck. They can't make skirmishers even if they wanted to. They can't make cavalry because the Genoese crossbowmen will shred them. And they obviously can't make infantry either because that would fall victim to ranged attacks as well. So awkward spot for Burmese to be in here. I guess the civilizations matchup here is very good for the Lonely Petards. We have Malians to counter the Knights play of the Lithuanians as well. Did he collect any relics, by the way? Mickey Sniff has been killing a lot of units here. Let's assume that might be naval investments here. Let's give him a moment to free up some resources here for from the game. minimizing the window, that tends to help out a little bit. And let's go. Let's see if that does it. Yep, good raids here for Field House of a King, getting some villager kills down here as well. Heuristic Magic has been losing a lot, and is mainly contributing army here. 39 villagers, that's not much to boast for the Italians here. Also losing access to the fish. That's a bit on Philosopher King from not engaging more against green here though, but anything from Mickey has an amazing land boom now with the Lithuanians. 4 TCs going up, still has the fish working as we can see as well. And anything from Mickey, 10-15 builders ahead now of over the opposing players. Ooh. Burmese Castle about to go down here at the former home base of Blue. So trying to reboom, going to stone again, maybe from war castles and TCs to relocate. Military situation is ahead for anything from Mickey here, but again, the Iron Pie, they don't stand a chance against the Genoese crossbows. You could just forget about that. That's a weird call to make, but maybe it's yeah, I don't know what the idea is here. Maybe you're just blind thinking that that's the plan for Nomad. I'm gonna go Burmese, I'm gonna make Iron Buy, no matter what happens. And then they run into Italians and extend the Genoese crossbowman investment here. That's not going to take you far. Mickey Sniff with the raids here as well, with the Lithuanians cavalry here. Did get a conversion in bad looks of it as well, so Lithuanians camel on the move here. But enter Heuristic Magic. Let's just see the Genoese. If they can get close and get some hits in, they will clean up this without big trouble here. Castles from map control, not uncommon on Nomad at all. Trade, not so commonly seen, but looking at the map here, there is potential for trade routes, at least for a short trade for Mickey Sniff and Big Cook. I think they could secure the top side somehow. It's probably not going to come to that though, because Nobel has so much stones and golds anyway, and whoever has the overall advantage will be getting the better end of the deal here. Yeah, they need something against the Genoese here, but anything from Mickey, they are still ahead in economy, and they're not that far behind the military either, but we have to factor in the fact that Green has fire ships here, so that's essentially 10 land units then, or so, for anything from Mickey here. But their economy is still superior. There are 50 villagers ahead. Somehow they won water, even with the greedy Lithuanians fish boom here. And we may be looking at an extended Nomad game round here. Just a stray out here is probably hunting for relics. He's gonna go for this one. Big Cook is here to defend a little bit. Let's see. 2 relics for the Lithuanians. Didn't manage to snag some relics here for Nomad, which is great news for the Knights, soon to be Cavalier and Paladin here. Solid economic lead for Mickey Sniff over everyone here. And 4 stables consistently producing Knights here as well. Does have 2, soon to be 3 relics, so that's +3 attack for the Lithuanians. And seeing as this is before today's patch release, the Lithuanians have full blacksmith upgrades as well, not lacking blast furnace as they has happened to them after the recent balance change. 800 score lead now for anything from Mickey. I guess having the water plays a big role in this, and the fact that they have 40 more economic units total. Still need some way to deal with the Genoese, but the maths isn't too scary. The units are spread a bit all around here for Heuristic Magic. So, Yeah, we'll see how it goes here. Plate Barding coming in. Cavalier not instant here for green. Loses the Mangonel as well. Good focusing there by Philosopher King. And we'll try to commit against the Genoese here, but look at the Genoese go here. They'll still do significant damage to these knights. With 5 stables producing, I guess Mickey Sniff is in a decent spot here still, though. 35 to 18 military, and 1 player in the Imperial Age. Just now, Philosopher King clicked the Imperial Age, but look at the tabs here. No production, no military whatsoever. He's actually going to try and finish off this castle with petards, which is funny. The lonely petards making petards. Doesn't get any better than that. Imperial Age for Malians. That allows for the unique technology Farimba from the castle to grant you +5 attack for all cavalry units. So light cab camels and knights benefit from that. Then again, Lithuanians have amazing halberdiers that move faster and have almost full upgrades. So they have an easier way to deal with Farimba cavalry than many other civilizations. And I think Ricky still with the equal lead here, keeping that 40 villagers lead and a slight army lead as well. Again, it's still fire ships here, which I guess could be put to use. 5 petards and counting here. Really wants this castle done with. We'll see how it... maybe we'll keep an eye on these guys. As we have Big Cook going to the Imperial Age as well. Just now getting Bloodlines. But it hasn't been playing the cavalry, it's been playing the Iron By here. Only has 16 of them. They do shred buildings if you can get to a significant mass, and unique technology granting extra damage against buildings for cavalry units, but the land military situation is still a concern here. Genoese crossbowmen will essentially counter everything on the field here for anything from Mickey. Sniping a few farms here as well, which could certainly be considered value. Let's see the Cavaliers. 12 plus 6 attack, that should mean... Okay, it's only 2 relics, so Mickey Sniff did manage to snipe the relic over here that was hunting a while ago. Petards have been hitting, so we missed those, but the castle has taken serious hits here for Big Cook, and it's also the only castle producing the Iron By here. Which is... Wait, there's 2 castles, but at least that's one going down. Siege Workshop now for Big Cook is... bombard cannons on the menu here, maybe? Another castle for the Italians as well. That should be castle number 4 for... Wait, that's the 5th castle actually for the Italians here. 1 TC, 5 castles. Full on Genoese crossbowmen galore here with 59 builders only. No fish boom for the Italians either. They don't control water after all. Otherwise the economy situation would be quite different for the Italians here. Big Cook is in the Imperial Age. Not producing any military at all. He's about to lose the castle up north here, but he's kind of bailed on this area regardless. And in the Siege Workshop there are mangonels, okay? Excuse me. No Farimba yet for Mickey Sniff, but massing up on units here regardless. Going into elite skirms as well, knowing that Iron By are on the field. That has to be the main reason for the skirms here. While Big Cook wants to boost the gold income and getting conscription to mass up units faster as well. Another castle going up. This one will be going down, but he keeps making Iron By as long as the castle stands at the very least. And it's going to be a big fight for map control here on Nomad, with the map almost split in half between the 2 teams here. Well, if heuristic magic loses the castle here, there goes all of the army production potential. So that's a, good call of editing for Mickey here to start focusing then on the castles with trebuchets here, Malians. I'm looking at Lithuanians. Why am I looking at Lithuanians for Farimba? I want to see the Malians here. The Malians, of course, have Farimba in here. I'm mixing up the colors because of this. So Malians definitely with Farimba light cab here. Better light cab by far than the Lithuanians, but still 2 Relic Cavalier against Malians Camels. That could be an issue. Malians Pikemen out here. So could be a bit of a gold issue here for Philosopher not being able to get into massed heavy camels here, which would make wait, that does make sense. There are Genoese crossbowmen here, so scratch that. You don't really need camels or that stuff when you have Genoese crossbows already. Kind of hard to follow the action here. We have a couple of more castles going up from Mickey's Sniff here, more so to prevent raids and protect the base than to go for full lighties, I think, but certainly leaves the option. Let's have a look at the Genoese crossbowmen 46 and counting. But the economy, still 40 villagers or 40 eco units ahead for anything from Mickey here. Green closing in on Popcapped here. And massing up on the Lithuanians skirmishers to deal with the Genoese crossbowmen here. Yeah, action going on all sides here. Skirmisher numbers increasing, 31 elite skirmishers now, and oh, they are about to kind of flank and trap the Genoese crossbowmen here. This could be really bad for purple here. Is gonna lose them like flies here, swatting flies or something. Yeah, lots of elite Genoese cross. Are they elite, by the way? No, they're not elite. They are Genoese crossbow. We're still in Castle Age here for heuristic magic. This is anything for Mickey's game. It has to be Genoese crossbow going on just like that. Only trash left for the Malians here for some reason. And there's the GG. So that would be home map win for anything for Mickey. We're up to 1-1 here, and we'll be seeing the Lonely Petards home map next. Cavaliers, 74 Cavaliers total for the Lithuanians, while Philosopher King mostly made Light Caviar as the most created unit. Okay, let's browse through the military stats here before toggling game 3. 253 to 139 kills for Mickey Sniff, and I think a lot of that were villager kills, so good raids by the green player here, no questioning that. Massive economy as well, earlier to the multiple DCs and claiming map control over the resources, getting a good boom going. Some weird APM spike in the middle of everything here. Otherwise, regular standard APM numbers here. Let's find game number 3. Actually, I'll update the draft here as well with Lithuanians and what was the other save again? Burmese taking the win against Malians and Italians. Right? Yeah. Next game. Going to be on Golden Pit, which would be the Lonely Petard's first home map. Again, we need to switch the colors here because they're not playing with team colors. So how about we give Mickey Sniff the green and we give Philosopher the... I think we did red, purple. Yeah, that should be alright. 1, 3, 2, 6. Alright, Golden Pit it is. It's all about the middle as the game moves on. This is where most of the golds and stones are. You do start with some stone around your base and golds. 4 tiles, stones, 3 tile golds. But for your extended army military production of gold units, you'll need to have control of the middle, so it's likely that a lot of the fighting is going to go down the middle here. Which is why Big Cook has gone for the Tatars here, gonna get the hill advantage bonus, could always pull back up on the hill here to fight and take advantage of units downhill. Cavalry archers comes to mind, but could also play knights into cavaliers or even Keshiks with the Tatars here. Is definitely going to play the cavalry role though to begin with, maybe open scouts and coordinate with Mickey Sniff's Vietnamese archers. So Vietnamese unique unit from the castle, the Rattan Archer, basically a Huskarl with a bow and arrow, high priest armor, countering others archers played, a good unit to get to. Surprisingly high attack and resilient to range damage especially, so Vietnamese could open straight archers, could open drush archers, could open drush fast castle with this map. Looks quite wallable in between the woodlines for all of the players here. Or men at arms, of course, though you don't see men at arms a lot in team games. As for the Lonely Petards, we have heuristic magic here with the Aztecs, which is not too commonly seen in team games. But for 2v2, when you have a best of 5, maybe you want them up your sleeve after all. Aztecs have Arblast, but they don't have Thumbring, I believe. They're missing that, or are they missing the last armor? Is that the thing? Yeah, we'll see how it plays out. But they do have access to Elite Eagle Warriors, or Eagle Scouts, Eagle Warriors, Elite Eagle Warriors, which could be used to their advantage against other civilizations going for the archers, for example, like the Vietnamese. Strong infantry for Aztecs as well, could easily go for a drush without mining gold because they start with plus 50 gold. And the Aztecs have a unique technology for their infantry as well. Garland Wars giving plus 5 attacks to infantry, I think it is. Philosopher King with the Franks here, gonna play the cavalry role for sure. Probably opening scouts and then following up with knights and eventually paladin in the Imperial Age. Amazing economy for the Franks as well. You get the farm upgrades instantly upon reaching each age, next age, and your cavalry units get plus 20% hit points once you reach the village as well. So Franks, some of the strongest scouts openings in the game. Yeah, so heavy food investment here, no surprise there for the Franks, pushing in all of the deer here. While Mickey Sniff has been a bit unlucky here to begin with, has one unit dead, so heuristic magic has been on the move with the Eagle Scout here. So that's one of the perks of having a Meso civilization. And the Eagle Scout, it is a bit stronger in terms of attack in the Dark Age. Higher hit points as well, so in Dark Age, the Eagle Scout, if it gets the first hit, it will easily win against generic Civ Scouts, but the generic or the other civilizations not being Meso. But then again, the Scout cavalry moves faster than the Eagle Scout. But one villager dead. All things considered, though. Somewhat even economy here, but we have the Franks going up at 20 pop here, which explains the slight, or the evenness in numbers here, given that Philosopher King idles the town center villager production to go to the next stage. I don't see any... Well, there's the barracks for heuristic magic. And no Wilderness Gold, you don't really need it to make men-at-arms with Aztecs if you want to, but this barracks is way too late to support 8 men-at-arms opening anyway, so this is probably the straight archers for heuristic magic, even potentially straight skirms, but that's to hold off the Vietnamese, but that's quite unlikely in a team game where the teammates will usually have scouts or some kind of cavalry after all. It's going to be a close match, but there Philosopher King gets an additional hit in his chasing Big Cook here. So as long as he doesn't take any chances here, does he want to delay that part? Oh, Feudal Age is in for Philosopher King. More hit points for the Tank Scout. Easy engagement there. And delays Big Cook's barracks. This is a really rough start for anything for Mickey here. They are down on Mildred due to harassment from the Aztecs player, and the Philosopher King just makes the most of it here, wants to delay this barracks as much as possible. Tatars in the Feudal Age, but not able to drop the stables until the barracks is complete, right? Frank's stable already up, scouts in the queue, 4 scouts for Philosopher King here, and we'll probably be tasking the very first one right here to make sure the walls stay open, so the scouts can have potential for damage. Looks like the walls are complete for Mickey's Sniff here. The barracks is up as well, going to gold now. That's a very exposed gold to ranged approaches, unfortunately. So that could backfire from the Aztecs here going for the archers. But it is 23 pop up here for Mickey's Sniff, so it's going to be the archers for Mickey's Sniff as well. I guess it's fine. It's going to have army to hold this off. Big Cook may or may not be able to wall in fully wall in time here. I'm not convinced Philosopher King should stay home and wait for 3 scouts here before engaging, because if the walls go up in time, Philosopher King won't be able to do damage with the scouts here. It's still wide open on this side though, so that could be part of the reason why Philosopher King isn't stressing it all that much, but it doesn't really know that it's so open down here. 2 soon to be 3 scouts for Big Cook as well. But this is the Lonely Petard's home map, so I'm sure they have a plan here to... Why? Why wait for so many scouts? So what's the plan here? Are they going to gang up on Mickey Sniff? Is that the play? Huh. That's so passive here from the Franks player, who already has the better scouts. That's weird to me, but yeah, blue is still open, so they may still be able to deal damage here, but yeah, this is puzzling to me. And they don't seem to... Uh-oh, blue's gonna get in here. Spearman is on point though. Okay, they pull right away. And now red should really send the scouts back. It does! And he sends 1 to heuristic magic as well to stick around here and help out if need be. 1 scout down for Big Cook. Behind the scouts numbers for sure. 7 scouts to 4 here. 2 spearmen for blue. And gonna use those to protect the villagers to get the full walls up here. Heuristic magic also very... I guess it's going to work out for the little petards here. The initial passiveness, not risking any armies, but now they're moving out. They're going for a 2 versus 1 on Mickey Sniff here, who is the Vietnamese, arguably the less mobile player of the 2 here, but damage is damage. Gold is very exposed, so if Mickey Sniff is pushed off this gold, he'll have to relocate to this one for gold access for archers production. Might actually be enforced into skirmishers here if he's pushed off this gold. Yeah, good pressure from the Lonely Petards now. We see green semi-panicking here with house walls behind the palisades. That's going to keep the aggression at bay for now, but the overall military situation for the Lonely Petards is certainly ahead. We have Fletching in for the Aztecs, and we also have that defense in for the Frank Scouts here, so Lonely Petard's really planning for the extended feudal age here. They will break through, and then the Scouts will cause absolute chaos here. A couple of weak villagers here to be in danger of engagement here. Scouts now coming in between the blue archers here. Let's see the HP. It's comparable here. It's a big old mess in the fighting here. Can't move too close to the TC. That's going to be bad news. And looks like the Aztecs archers are going down here. So somewhat of an even trade there, but Lonely Petard's better army numbers in total behind this. There's a tiny bit of harassment on blue sides as well. I'm still surprised blue didn't get any aggression from the Frank Scouts while Aztecs was moving out, but maybe Heuristic Magic expected more spearmen in the blue base and didn't want to risk it here. 2 archers still alive for Heuristic Magic. Gonna need a micro of a lifetime to take out the Vietnamese archers. They have more hit points as well, but never say never with the archers in between. The Vietnamese having the fletching here, but the defense on the Frank Scouts, that's a bit off-putting as well, because you don't expect, and necessarily expect Scouts to have upgrades this early in the game. +1 is in as well, and Catholic now on the way for the Frank's Frags, seeming really powerful here now. Damage certainly been done here, because Nif has lost 7 villagers in this engagement. Do they know about the gold in the back though? They haven't really scouted the gold, so that's a bit of a lacking scouting from the Lonely Petards here. We'll maybe see it, we'll maybe not expect it to be behind the gate like this. Finds another villager though, could be another dead villager. I just commit here, I haven't read. Yep, down goes 8 villagers down for Mickey Sniff. This is already snowballing out of control for anything for Mickey. They are down 13 villagers now. While the Aztecs player is also going Castle Age here, is gonna get to the crossbows. Castle Age in for the Tatars, gonna make the Knights now double stables here for instant production of double stable Knights. Bloodlines is in, attack about to kick in as well, but Frank's only 40 seconds away from the Castle Age as well. More villagers. Same eco upgrades. Yeah, and the last scout's going to be dealt with here, but now it's going to be knights from both of the cavalry players here. A slight head start. It's actually 3 stables for Big Cook here, so might be able to get a good edge over the Franks here. It's double stables for the Franks and another town center, but there's the GG called, and anything from Vicky realizes that they don't stand a chance against the the better Frank's cavalry. Maybe you could make camels, but too far behind in terms of Mickey Sniff. Still in the feudal age, losing 8 villagers there to the initial rates. That was a fairly quick one here, with the Lonely Petards taking... Wait, who's that? Who took this one? Taking their first home map. And let's have a look at the statistics. Army masses here, no. Yeah, and blue losing the scouts early here to the stronger Frank scouts, of course, leaving his teammate with a 2 vs 1 situation, and the Lonely Petards hence coming out on top there. Let's see for the rest of the stats as well. 12-7 and 13-8 positive KD for Philosophy King and Heuristic Magic here. Better economy, especially over the Vietnamese, losing so many villagers there to the raids. 20 and 21 pop respectively here, I believe, or was it? Yeah, I think it was 20 and 21. And then, yeah, total villagers created highest for the Vietnamese, but lowest total because of the loss to raids here. Let's fix this again in the stats here. Vietnamese on the losing end here, Tatars on the losing side on Golden Pit, while Aztecs and Franks take the win as we move into game number 4. Which will be on Socotra! Amazing! It could get messy, or should get messy. It is Socotra after all. And again, we need to toggle the color differences here. What are we gonna do? Let's make Mickey Sniff green and Philosopher purple, I guess. Wait, how do we do this? Red, maybe. Yeah. So Socotra it is. So encased in lots of water here, but you can't use this deep water. You can't get to it. There are cliffs stopping you from using that part of the map. So it's already a small map, and it's been diminished even more by the woodlands and cliffs blocking access to the sea whatsoever. Let's have a look at the civilizations of choice here. Bulgarians here, instant men-at-arms. That's one of Bulgarians' unique things with their civilizations. Means that men-at-arms and towers could come into play here for the purple player, Philosopher King. But they also could do, for example, men-at-arms into scouts because of the resources saved not going for the men-at-arms upgrade. And for their teammate, we have heuristic magic with the Celts here. That usually means Wang-style push with lots of siege, maybe a couple of monks, spears, knights and whatnot. But we'll see. Celts have amazing infantry as well. You could easily go men-at-arms towers with Celts as well, because they have faster moving infantry. Now to the south side here, Mickey Sniff with the Mongols. About to lose a villager here with some next level quick walling by heuristic magic here. Let's see if they can get it. We might have a scouts run in as well, and Mickey Sniff has already lost 2 hit points on the scouts, but here comes Big Cook to help in as well. You'll note that heuristic magic has already been on a laming spree here with this forward villager, killing basically all of the ostriches of Mickey Sniff, not allowing the Mongols player to push in the ostrich. And if you want to benefit from the hunt bonus for the Mongols, you need to place a mill here. Heuristic magic saves the villager though. 4 villager, and will be taking out the last ostrich as well. Sneaky stuff. Could lose it to villager fighting here, but I'd argue that this forward woman has been getting some value as well. And she's gonna move on to... Is she gonna move on to lane blue as well? Could be. Could be. Yeah, green's gonna help out to take out this villager. Yeah, she's dead. Okay, so that's one villager down, but arguably getting value here, depriving Mongols of their faster hunt. It does place a mill, he really wants that hunt, but see, it's been decaying already. Ostrich, standard, 125 food, about to lose. Yeah, well, we lost 125 food here already. And finally, Big Cook with a Khmer, by the way. Has a smooth ride throughout the ages, not needing buildings to go up, so that could come in handy. You could go straight for scouts or archers with Khmer without needing a barracks to unlock the buildings, so that gives them quite a bit of flexibility on Nomad. They're also safer in terms of withstanding raids, as the Khmer villagers can garrison inside houses. Only 2 on wood here for Big Cook, so this could be a really fast feudal age build for the Khmer into scouts or archers, depending. 3rd villager going to wood now though, so maybe a bit more conventional after all. Breathe is now pushing in some of Philosopher King's hunt here, so he's getting some hunt bonus after all. I love that. He's going to push it all the way to town center, in fact, and at least get 1 deer back for the efforts here, as he's milling the rest of the hunt here and boosting that early food. Still able to go up 19 pop here, so starting elephant plus milling the hunt, remaining hunt, is working into Mickey Sniff's favor here. Heuristic magic. Did sacrifice one builder for the lame and could have arguably done more with that. Wall in the berries, wall in the golds, whatever. But we have, the fact remains we have 2 players up to the next age here. Could be that the Khmer is going for the scouts as well. No, wait, that's going to be the archers. 2 on gold. 19 pop archers for Khmer. 19 pop scouts, presumably for the Mongols. Interesting. So that's going to be some nice early aggression here, while Heuristic Magic is dropping a barracks to prepare for whatever the Feudal Age brings for the Celts here as well. Nine, 10 Feudal Age for Mickey Sniff. That is some seconds off with the idle piece time here, but that's to be expected with the laning shenanigans of Socotra this early on. Stable goes up though, right on the 2 tiles of gold here, and Mongol scouts will be on the way. Heuristic Magic here with the militia, but they are to become men-at-arms eventually for the Celts here, so kind of expected play from the Celts there maybe. 1 scout goes down for Mickey Sniff there, but that was already weakened. Wouldn't be contributing too much in the grand total here. Walling off here on Socotra, such a coward on this very nasty, messy map. But that's the way it goes these days. 2 rangers for the Khmer here at 22 pop currently, and will need 6 on gold at least to sustain both rangers producing, but it certainly speeds up the early numbers here and provides for a good 2 versus 1 combination here. The straight archers from the Khmer will also help to hold off the Celts men-at-arms, no problem. Philosopher King going with men-at-arms as well, so they're double men-at-arms here on Socotra, which feels like a good idea in theory. Well, men-at-arms towers, that is, for Philosopher. I'm not sure what Celts are gonna make of it here. Hello, basically. Thanks for stopping by anyway. I appreciate it. So, faster moving men-at-arms for the Celts, but not faster attacking like the Japanese. 2 scouts won't be able to fend this off, but the Khmer archers might. But looks like the Khmer archers are busy at home here to hold off the men-at-arms and tower of Philosopher King here. Let's see Philosopher King if he is mining stone. He is indeed mining stone, so he did plan for more towers here, but the first one gets denied already. This could be a short one on Socotra here if this keeps up, because anything from Mickey, they have all they need to hold off the aggression here. 1 builder down for Philosopher King of the forward ones, 2 builders total. While the Celt men-at-arms aren't really accomplishing match on the Mickey Sniff side. Mickey Sniff about to be full wall, missing a few tiles here, but that's all there is left. Enter the Khmer archers now with pledging as well to fight off here. Double ranges for the Khmer. The men-at-arms are in, so that's a bit unfortunate for Green here. We'll be losing 1 builder now. Then again, with help from Big Cook here, these men-at-arms and spearmen should easily be dealt with here. 5 men-at-arms, not a small investment either for the Celts here, so it should delay the Castle Age quite a bit. Idle time off the charts for both Big Cook and Heuristic Magic here, so the builder numbers are comparable. But yeah, good teammate here, Big Cook in the blue, to clean up the input before the Celts here and take Mickey Sniff back into the game here. 55 builders for both players here. Philosopher King going into some skirmishers over here to hold off what is about to come from Big Cook with the Khmer here with the straight archers. Defensive tower could be stopped here on the gold. Ten archers total. I think it completes unless blue has the micro of a lifetime here. Yeah, denies it at 89% here. Not bad. So Bulgarian's desperately trying to full wall here. Not sure why he wants to secure this gold at all with the tower when there's a much safer gold over here, but that's the way it is around here. The tower will eventually go up here unless blue is on point, and he will deny it yet again here. Force building. Oh, it goes up, in fact. Again, off to hit the Celts now for Big Cook here. We'll find the berries to be very exposed here. Blacksmith for the Celts. Range is up. If the resources are on point, Celts could go cast Lage here. 5 builders down for Philosophy King, though. That was the forward towers not working out. And builders about to go down for Heuristic Magic here as well. Now doubling up together with Mickey Sniff here to be blocking the builders from escaping here, potentially, or take out skirmishers, which is arguably more important. That's why you don't necessarily make skirmishers in team games, because your teammate scouts can, or your opponent scouts or cavalry units can easily deal with them. Right in for the woodline though, and Heuristic Magic will be losing all wood access here with the Celts, with the archers moving in here, and that's going to be easily going to be 5 or 6 dead builders more for Heuristic Magic here. GG is called. We're going to a 2-2 and a decider 5th game here between the Lonely Petards and anything from Mickey. After I look at the statistics, of course. 6 skirmishers, the most units made. 5 men-at-arms. Big Cook, 20 archers, dominating here together with the Mongols scouts. We have to give them good defense here as well. But that's how it ends for the 4th game. Yeah, KD here, 18-3, that's amazing. And Mongols with 8-4 as well. So cultural domination on their home map here. Lonely Petards, home map coming up for the last game here. So they get the home map advantage for the decider game at least. Let's show the draft here again. Mongols are on the winning side, as are the Khmer, while we had Celts and Bulgarians losing. That actually leaves us only with Huns and Vikings for the last game, and Chinese and Ethiopians for Big Cook's team. Alright, let's find it. Game 5 on Serengeti. Let's fix the colors here again. We'll give Philosopher the purple and Heuristic the red for clarity of vision here. The map is Serengeti, one of my favorite maps. It's quite open, there's some extra hunt. Amazing potential mill spot here for Philosopher King already. All of the hunt at the same spot. Amazing, amazing. You don't even, barely even need to push in the hunt when it's like this. You could place a mill on the berries and then just hunt everything and then go to berries after. Great, great position there for Philosopher King with the Huns. Very likely to play the scouts here and then follow it up with knights or even cavalry archers, depending in the castle age. Teammate, we have Heuristic Magic with the Vikings here. Amazing economy for the Vikings. They get wheelbarrow and handcart instantly upon reaching the Budeland castle ages. We'll likely be playing the archers here. Distance seems a bit far for a Drush or Men-at-Arms opening, but we shouldn't completely rule it out. But it's kind of more inviting for a straight archers approach here. Getting the back woodland first. Nice juicy woodlands here all over for the Vikings. Actually decent potential for a Serengeti map to full wall here as well. Berry's kind of exposed though, as we have Big Cook here with the Chinese. Now Chinese, you'd see them in flanks in team games playing the straight archers more often than not, but in this case I think the Chinese will be going for the scouts here and the knights or camels depending in the castle age to complement Mickey's Sniff here with the Ethiopians. So Ethiopian Huns top side, Vikings Chinese south side. Cavalry versus archers on either side presumably. Oh, Hunt not spawning too pretty for Mickey Sniff here. Behind the woodline makes it awkward to push them in. While Hunt is very forward behind the woodline here for Big Cook as well. So the only one really getting real lucky with the Hunt spawn is Philosopher King up there. We'll see if it makes an impact on the food income early on here. Probably gonna build the backside here to reach most of the Hunt. What are we gonna see here? I see Mickey Sniff at slightly lower pop here. It's would look like an early loom. Good work on Big Cook here with the Chinese opening, by the way, at only 37 seconds of idle TC time here. So really been able to compensate for the starting with 0 food nicely here and keeping that villager lead that Chinese will have with their extra starting 3 villagers. It's actually milling the deer or the zebras all the way out here, which makes sense as well because it's so awkward to push them past the woodlands and everything here. Might as well use your first mill on the deer and then just get the berries later, or just forget about the berries, because you'll with the Hunt here it's like 700 800 foods worth of Hunt. You'll easily be able to get to the feudal age anyway. Heuristic Magic with the barracks here now did not go to gold. Did it take 10 gold? It's about to take 10 gold for the Drush here. It is actually the pre-mill Drush here for Heuristic Magic, which definitely could catch Chinese off guard here. And it's a good call against the Chinese as well with that kind of early aggression to distract them off the fact that they need to force drop food all the time to keep villagers production going early on. But with the pre-mill Drush, you ideally want to find your opponent a lot earlier as well. Heuristic Magic moving out just now, but given the placement on the town centers, you'd expect them to be down here no matter what, so maybe not too big of a deal. Alright, let's see the Drush here, if it has any impact on Big Cook's side here. Can be really frustrating and so exposed Hunt here for Big Cook. I think Big Cook spotted the militia movement, did he? Oh, little hit advantage here for Heuristic Magic and the militia here to you're not even going to quick wall the Hunt here. That's the danger of long or distance hunting like that. You could really you're really exposed and you can't not like on the berries you could quick wall your villagers. That's one villager down for Big Cook. Great value from Heuristic Magic with the pre-mill Drush already. Mickey Sniff going for the greedy full walls here. Does have the barracks up though, and will be going the 22 pop men at arms here. Pretty conventional play. Let's see if Philosopher King will be able to keep this out. Being Huns, he can't really quick wall with houses because Huns don't get them. Mickey Sniff on point here with the scouting, sees the stable going up and will very likely be getting in with the men at arms as well before Philosopher King can full wall everything here. Drush still at large. The main point of the Drush is to annoy your opponent so you can get your walls up at home and get your castle edge going. This is some extremely ambitious walling from the Lonely Petard, so they want to go and get a full team wall going here, and it seems like a bit of a stretch to say the very least. But look at their scouting here. They've actually been planning this. Enter the soon-to-be men-at-arms for Mickey Sniff here. The uptime a bit off with 50 seconds of idle TC time here, so not going to be the strongest, smoothest men-at-arms opening here, but Serengeti it is, and it's always going to be a hole if you're not very attentive to as to where and how we wall. Men-at-arms are in, and they run right into TC5 here. One down with Philosopher King now with 3 scouts out, tasking builders to fight as well. Makes quick work of the Men-at-arms opening. That doesn't get too much value from Mickey Sniff. Didn't get a single villager. No. Not the most successful Man-at-Arms opening. George still alive for heuristic magic, but Big Cook now with the scouts out to deal with the remaining annoyance of the Drush. This is so ambitious. I can't believe that if they're actually pulling this off. There's actually very little to go now for the Lonely Petards to full wall, but with this early team wall, no way they're going to be able to house wall behind any double aggression for the opponents here. It seems so greedy. So greedy. Vikings with the villager kill though should be better off than Big Cook. Yeah, lots of idle time cost on the Chinese there, so heuristic magic well ahead in villagers over the Chinese player here. Thanks for the follow to Carms the Gamer. Hello. Are you in the AOE Leagues? Since that's on the agenda today. So, yeah, the team wall is officially complete for the Lonely Petards here. Seems I'll say it again, it seems very ambitious, but now you could arguably have heuristic magic fortify, or not fortify, but strengthen the walls of the Hunt's player here. Hunt's not having access to houses. House a day, it's alright. I'm getting to cast some final games here from the AOE Leagues, so I'm enjoying that for sure. It's like the middle of the day, middle of the skill range players, these guys, so they're putting up a good show. Always nice when it goes to 5 games in the best of 5. Scouts and archers coordinating here for Philosopher King and heuristic magic. They're scouting. They actually have no idea where the Ethiopians even are at this point. Ethiopians 10 archers, Vikings with 8 here. But yeah, more scouts as well for Big Cook. Hunts, however, they have 20% faster working stables, so they should be able to take the numbers lead over the Chinese here. Now they're moving to hit the Ethiopians player impact, maybe because they feel like they did some decent early damage to the Chinese through the rush that heuristic magic did. Now they need to hit the Ethiopians. Hey, Carms the Gamer. I'm quite happy with the graphics I currently have, so not really any point of interest and investment for the time being. But sure, you can send it. You can send it to me on Discord if you want. I'm just not going to make any promises at all of investing into anything. Alright, so the Lonely Petards are in at the Ethiopian side here now. Mickey Sniff will have to pull his archers back, but they have the army advantage here. Losing a few numbers, of course, but it's dangerous here for the Lonely Petards. They won't be getting back out. No. Wait, they both have the scouts upgrades here. In fact, they don't do, but we do have. Do we have no bloodlines? But +1/+1 for both the cavalry players here. The Lonely Petards falling behind in numbers though after losing the armies inside of Mickey Sniff's space after getting maybe just 1 or 2 villager kills there. Not the greatest value ever. Behind this though, we have Philosopher King going up to the cast stage at 38 villagers. and will be beating the Chinese big time to the cast age. So even if the Chinese have access to camels to defend against Knights play, and that's not necessarily viable with the Vikings to eventually have crossbows here, and that Castle Age lead for the Lonely Petards here, that's going to be huge. They're safe at home, they have a full team wall going. I have no idea how they're even able to pull that off, but they did. And they have a significant lead into the next age here, with the power spike that implies for their armies as well. It's going to be it's going to be maybe more than a 2-minute lead to the Castle Age for Philosophy King, which should, has been AFK. Yeah, here's the danger of these greedy, ambitious team walls. It renders you vulnerable to overzone plays like this. Heuristic Magic is gonna stay here with the archers and try to defend from behind the walls, but re-walling going to be quite the challenge here. Archers now going to go down for Heuristic Magic here, but in return, Philosopher King is in the cast age with 2 stables and producing and dropping a second town center to extend the economy. Four Knights out, they have +2 just kicking in here. You should easily, with a few overlights now, Philosopher King should heal, Philosopher King should easily clean this up. That's a tiny bit of a heal bonus here for Mickey Sniff with the archers, but crossbow that's just miles away for the opens here. Gonna lose a huge wave of Feudal Age armies here and losing that potential ball of crossbows. Not sure if it's worth it here for Mickey Sniff to be here with the archers. They're not killing villagers of Philosopher King either, who hasn't lost a single villager so far and is getting amazing value from the armies here. Vikings with triple rangers now producing the crossbow. The Rush still alive, not doing too much here, but they clean up and will be ready to move out with a mix of knights and crossbows on the enemy bases here. Still somewhat safe behind the full team walls here. So 35 million to 17, that says something about the engagement that the Lonely Petards got at Philosopher King's home base there. Solid military lead now over anything from Mickey, and not to mention the economy here, 100 to 78 villagers here. Now going to gang up on the Chinese here, who is playing the cavalry role at this point. Yes, camels are out, but with crossbows in the mix here, camels won't be doing nearly as much as they could against knights alone. Spearmen not really going to work either. Crossbows are here. They don't have ballistics just yet, but looking at the Vikings economy, it shouldn't be too far off. Could actually afford it now. Heuristic Magic once the university is up, and this is looking good for the Lonely Petards here at what is their second and last home map in this 2v2. They are establishing a very solid economic lead here. You'll see that anything from Wiki, they're only at 1 town center each, while the Hunts player is soon to be at 3, and Vikings at 2, and Vikings instant wheelbarrow and handcart. Instant eco lead as well that way. That is essentially 6 more villagers lead for the Vikings, given that anything from Mickey need to go into wheelbarrow at some point. They actually have wheelbarrow though, but not handcart, so that's another 3 villagers to compensate for that difference in that sense. 63 villagers to 37, the Lonely Petards 120 something to 85 here. Noticing maybe that there's still only one TC here for the Chinese, not even worrying too much about the town center being garrisoned here. Not too many villagers inside there. Here comes Ethiopian's crossbows, but... Okay, there's potential for the Lollipotards to throw the lead here, but then again, they have a massive eco lead by 40 villagers or more, so they can afford to lose units. And I think for Wiki, they really can't. Camel's not working out here with all of the crossbows in the mix. Yes, the Knights of the Hunt's players are down, but Hunt's tables, they produce faster, replenish more easily than the opposing team here. Not too many builders down just yet, but the overall KD should still be very much on the positive side for the lonely petards here. 5 town centers to 3 town centers, and a decent bowl of archers for the Vikings still alive as well. (138 to 89). They're almost 50 villagers lead at the 30th minute here. Are we actually going to see Imperial Age soon as well? Vikings, it's going to be a while yet, but they pull back towards the hill here to regroup with the units here. Crossbow numbers at 36 for the Vikings to only 10 for the Ethiopians. 4 rangers for the Vikings, 3 for the Ethiopians. No way Mickey Sniff will catch up in numbers here easily. 11 knights, but currently at production stop for the Huns, maybe wanting to play economy here mainly. Blue doesn't really produce armies either, so with that in mind, all look at the militia, aka Angry Housewives on my channel, doing work here as well. Still getting value from their annoyance here. Forcing Big Cook to actually react with the Scorpions here to take out the tickling force of militia down there. 11 knights, and Hunt's now mainly playing the boom game here behind the walls. But raids are a fact here. 8 villagers killed so far by Philosophy King and Heuristic Magic, and counting. Twice the villagers now. Twice the population total. This is domination on Serengeti for the Lonely Batards. Unfortunately, they are in a position that they just couldn't possibly lose here. They're going to focus down the crossbow numbers of Mickey Sniff again, and the GG should be right around the corner. There it is. Quick and smooth Serengeti game after all for both of them, and that's it. Congratulations to the Lonely Petards for taking the 3-2 over anything from Mickey here. And nice 5-game set here. Let's have a look at the stats. Could show that economy upgrades here as well. Could be interesting. Chinese actually very late to the eco upgrades there. Farms not so important, but double bit maybe still something you want to get ASAP in the feudal age. Did fall victim to a age rush by the Vikings player of 66 to 27 for the Huns here. So good trades with the Knights in the field and in the mix. After all, massive eco lead, and the early full team walls here for the Lonely Petards certainly paid off. We also had Vikings on the way to Imperial Age here, so there really was the point of no return for anything from Wiki here after fighting well throughout the set, of course. 96 villagers total, 4 TCs in the end, town centers for Philosophy King. Didn't lose a single villager the whole game, same goes for the Vikings, so it says something about the pressure they applied here. So GG well played again, and congratulations to the Lonely Petards.